Oh, what? So, welcome everyone. This is Star Wars Show Live, brought to you by Dweeb Factory.
Which is us, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
That's us.
It's us.
That's us.
A couple other people that help sometimes.
Every once in a while.
Every so once in a while.
Bye, Shar Shar.
And we're really excited. We help Chris. I help Chris with his Redbeard live show here out of Nerdvana, Spirits and Coffee. So behind us is the coffee shop. In front of us is another window, which is the restaurant.
Which is fantastic. You have not been here in Frisco, Texas. It's amazing. Food is amazing. Setup is amazing. If you love gaming and stuff in your pie hole and drinking like this guy does, please come.
No, I don't. I like drinking chocolate milk. But also, so we could have done the setup at our home. Actually, I'm going to be live streaming from my home sometimes, and I build a background. I have a nice camera setup, everything there. But I wanted to make sure to do it here at Nerdvana because it's such a great place for everyone to come. So starting next week, we're going to start inviting people to come up. They're going to start live streaming the show here inside the restaurant, which will be a lot of fun. So we're going to start doing some Facebook posts and ads to get everyone here. But we wanted to start off this show with a little bit of a test. We had an idea of either doing a straight gaming podcast. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we're in a video game themed bar and a board game coffee shop, so we thought it'd make sense. But Nolan, who graciously let us get test this out, the biggest thing that he said to us was talk about something that we're really passionate about. So that's when I decided it was going to be Star Wars, and I was going to make you do it.
Yeah, because you'll discover throughout the show that I am quite the novice.
But I think that's a really cool thing because I think a lot of people that aren't so familiar with Star Wars might be able to connect with LA, and then I'll just be like the Jedi Master who can just answer everything for you guys. Because Star Wars is always going to be here, guys. There's going to be 2 Star Wars movies coming out every year. There's going to be books, movies. Like it's here to stay for a very, very long time. And so I feel that a podcast about this might be really fun. So we're still open to a gaming podcast, but as of right now, our passion is Star Wars, and we're going to stick with it until Nolan says we're trash.
Which could be soon.
It could be soon.
It could be very soon.
But Star Wars Celebration just happened. There's a bunch of Star Wars news that just came out, but I keep running into people that are just like, I can't believe Star Wars is like so big, and it's like a huge thing right now. So I want this podcast to be a definite thing for people that are just now getting into Star Wars, people that are big fans of Star Wars already. I want it to be a mesh of both shows. So I wanted to do the show not for myself, but I wanted to be able to provide great content for everyone online. And that's the best thing that does really well online is really good content. And I felt like we could do some really good content around Star Wars because it's such a huge expanded universe. And at the same time, we don't want to be just a page or a channel. We actually want to be a community. We actually want to be a family. So if you watch this video, you're going to probably be seducted by how great these streams are. I don't know. Or you could leave and hate us.
I like how you went with family first.
Yeah.
And then seduction. You're like the alt Don from Fast and Furious.
Oh my gosh, dude. I don't even talk about Fast and Furious. That's why we don't do a movie podcast. So, LA, so what are you hoping to do, real quickly, 30 seconds, what are you hoping to do with this show? Like, what do you want to do we did a Star Wars podcast. Like, what do you hope to do for people?
If we stick with the Star Wars thing, I hope to maybe learn a little bit more about Star Wars. I know enough to, like, watch the movies and get semi-excited when the trailers drop. I need to ask him, like, 1,000 questions if something shows up and I have no idea. So I don't know very much. I know like names like Padawan and Kyber crystals and lightsaber and Han Solo.
But that's quite a bit, man. Like I don't think you understand. Like that's still quite a bit. Like I might be nerdy about it and know a lot, but that's still quite a bit.
I think it's exciting that after
Shane says his body is ready, and we apologize. There is we're using XSplit, so there's we're going to figure out the delay. There is a little bit of delay from when we speak to it actually hitting the video in the stream.
But we will answer the questions if questions do arrive.
Yeah. So if you ask us a question, doesn't happen immediately. Don't be frustrated. We're here for this is going to be a live centric show. So we're going to pay attention to the comments. We're going to answer people in the comments. This is not going to be just our video or podcast. It's also going to be everybody else inside the stream. This is going to be your podcast and stream as well. So if you can, right now, if you're watching, it looks like just Shane is, go ahead and share this.
Appreciate you, Shane.
And let's get all of our Star Wars nerd friends in here in this chat, and let's all get really nerdy together.
Yeah, most of my friends are not Star Wars nerd friends. So
let's go ahead and kick off the show. Let's stop foreplaying. Let's go ahead and just get down to the dirty. LA, what's our first order of business today?
First order of business is reaction to Star Wars.
Oh, what's up? Oh, my brother-in-law Nick just joined, and my buddy Miley joined out in San Diego. What's up, Miley?
Hello, Miley.
What's up, Nick?
Son-in-law. Or son, what was it?
Sorry, he's my brother-in-law. He's
brother-in-law.
awesome. Yeah, he's awesome. I love him.
Thank you, brother-in-law, for watching this.
And my few family members. I love it.
Star Wars news.
Yeah.
What new Star Wars news dropped within the week?
Well, the biggest thing right now I think we're going to talk about is the... are we going to talk about the Last Jedi trailer, or are we just going to talk about Star Wars news in general?
We can do both. I think we can do both.
Let's just talk about the Last Jedi. So, cool. The first segment is just going to be recapping Star Wars news throughout the week. So we're going to break down very short, not talk long, but we're just going to blaze through our thoughts on some of the Star Wars news coming out, and hopefully share with you guys what that means and how cool it is. Obviously, the biggest thing that happened recently was the Last Jedi trailer. Mm-hmm. So you being not a huge Star Wars fan and just understanding, you can look at it.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on it?
I thought, as far as the trailer goes, it's very cool. To me, the best, or I guess the coolest part of the trailer is when Rey is starting to learn that she can use the Force. Yes, Luke is training her. At least that's what it seems to be happening in the trailer. So when she's starting to raise the rocks and he's guiding her, I thought that was the coolest part. It's very tricky though, because it seemed at the end of the trailer that Luke is not wanting to train a Jedi, but he seems to be training her to be a Jedi. So I'm kind of confused on how that's supposed to roll out in the course of the movie.
I got an answer to that.
Oh, here we go.
So this is really cool. So I jumped on Facebook Live on my personal page and did a live stream because a bunch of people asked me about the trailer. So basically, Rey goes to the island at the end of Force Awakens.
Right, and she holds the lightsaber out for 1,000 minutes.
And Luke actually isn't very excited about this from what we learned at Star Wars Celebration. He's more like Clint Eastwood, get off my lawn, kid. What are you doing here? Just get off. She's like, but I want to be a Jedi. And she's like, would you teach me how to be a Jedi? And he's like, well, listen here, Missy. The Jedi are really bad. And it basically was a corrupt religion over time. Basically, over time, the original Jedi teachings just got manipulated by people, which happens in all forms of religion over time.
Right.
And yeah, it's really messed up. So he goes, the actual Jedi Order is going to end. And that's why he's like, we need to destroy the Jedi. Someone got in the comments and started saying, no, that was Benicio del Toro talking. And I was like, no,
that was definitely Luke.
It was.
Even me not knowing, knew it was Luke. I'm the last person to ask about Star Wars.
No, and so
definitely Luke.
Yeah, so basically, and also another thing is too. Yeah, the Jedi Order is very corrupt. They're not supposed to be fighting in big wars, and them fighting in the Clone Wars really corrupted them. Their Jedi Temple was built on a Sith temple, so Sith are bad guys. They built their temple on top of a bad place where an old bad place temple used to be. So it's like building a house on Chernobyl and saying, are we going to get radiation poisoning? No, I think we're fine. I think we're good.
I was going to go with Indian burial ground, but Chernobyl works.
Yeah, Chernobyl. I think radiation.
Super dated. All right.
So, yeah. So they that's basically what happened is they got corrupted over time. So Luke's basically finding out that they just need to destroy the Jedi Order. And what they're pointing to in the whole show right now, which you'll find out when you get to Rebels, because you're going to get there. You're going to get through Clone Wars, right?
We're going to talk about that.
And that basically Disney's wanting to get rid of the Jedi Sith stuff. They're wanting to have just what they call gray Jedi, or just people in the middle, so they can write each character in the comics, the books, the movies, however they want. Because it's very hard. You have to understand Disney is now making everything canon. So basically, if something happens in the comics, it affects what happens in the movies. If something happens in a Facebook post, it affects something that happens inside an audiobook. It's all connected. So I think they're doing it to make their characters more dynamic for the writers, because right now they have a team of 50 people who have to keep up with every single piece of Star Wars things that come out, and they have to make sure it all fits in this puzzle of theirs.
So how do you, as a longtime Star Wars fan, feel that Disney is now, I don't know if you want to call it rewriting, but they are definitely writing new stories, and they're getting rid of everything that you have loved about Star Wars up till to date?
Byron just texted me and said, y'all barely fit in that box. Shut up, Byron.
You'll lose weight by next week.
Yeah, stop.
Fit better.
I love it. The biggest issue Star Wars had was the greatest thing Star Wars had for a very long time. Mm-hmm. It was George Lucas. George Lucas had a really good concept to start off with. Now I think he needs to hand it off to other people to execute.
Yeah, because he wrote and directed Howard the Duck. So
George Lucas has a lot of really great ideas, but he also has a lot of bad ideas. Mm-hmm. So basically, this guy George Lucas came up with this great idea, and now Disney is taking it and putting it in the hands of creative people that love the property. So I'm very excited about it, because if you guys see, when a director or writer holds onto a property too long, it gets stale. Hence, the Dark Knight, X-Men, and George Lucas is not, he's not immune to that. He when the prequels came along and some other things, it's good. Disney's good. I like Disney's doing it. So
do we think Star Wars is eventually going to cross over with Marvel?
No,
I think Guardians of the Galaxy with Rey.
I think they might randomly do one random comic.
I'm almost positive it will happen.
They might do it, but it's going to be a very small,
Rocket Raccoon group.
Yeah, it's going to be a very small, short little thing they do, just to appease fans, and then they're going to get out of it. Nolan just joined. Great, now the pressure's on. Crap. But so what if everyone can do right now is go ahead and share this with everyone. Let's get everyone in here. I want everyone inside the chat talking Star Wars with us. At the end of the show, we're going to have a segment called Padawan Questions. So basically,
please explain what Padawan is first.
Padawan is a little person Jedi. Not a midget Jedi, but no, it's someone who's not a Jedi yet. It's someone Jedi in training.
Okay.
So we use it to, in the Star Wars universe, that's the word novice.
Or rookie.
Or beginner. There we go.
Rookie. You're a Jedi rookie.
So we want people that maybe don't know a lot about Star Wars, or maybe they do, but it's our question segment here. Obviously, we're going to answer questions anytime they jump up, but we want here at the end of the show, it's going to be at 7, or actually, you know what? Since we started the stream late, we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to do it at 7:45.
That works for me.
7:45. Everyone jump in and start asking your Padawan questions. So let's start breaking down some of the other stuff that happened inside. So the Last Jedi trailer is great. Mm-hmm. Didn't give us a lot.
No.
I got my spiel out about how why the reason Luke wants to destroy the Jedi Order.
Okay.
The only thing I have to say left about it is the director. I'm excited about. Mm-hmm. The only thing he's done really before this is Looper, which you could tell from that rock scene that you liked so much. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. What else do we have in the Star Wars news?
I know you wanted to discuss about Luke using a red lightsaber.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring this up because it tied so much into what I just said.
Okay.
But I basically think he got the notion out of his head that Sith and Jedi are a thing, and that's his way of cherishing his father. So what people are talking about specifically in the news, they're saying that Luke might have a red lightsaber, and some people super Star Wars nerds like me are finding this little red necklace he's wearing, the red kyber crystal, and thinking it's the kyber crystal from Darth Vader's lightsaber and all this stuff. Basically, as a Star Wars fan, what you need to do is take from this is that Disney is taking this a new direction, and I'm very excited about it. And I think this is where a lot of the rumors started up, because I think maybe people found this out. And I think this is where the rumors kind of spun into everyone saying there's going to be an evil Luke. I don't think it's an evil Luke. I think it's a Luke.
I think that's what's going to happen. As outside looking at it, this is I think would be cool, right? So he trains her, right, to be a really awesome Jedi. And then towards, let's say, the third act of the movie, you find out that Kylo Ren and Luke have been in communication this whole time. They've been colluding together.
Who?
Kylo Ren and Luke. Whole time they've been talking to her.
No, so this is my theory of why I think.
And then they try to get her to join them to go against everything that they've stand for. It was like, we're family.
No.
This is all a family. All join us together.
I didn't think it needed to be this elaborate. I think
no, because then it'd be a total gut punch to all Star Wars fans. It'd be great to see like everybody in theaters like, oh my god.
I think what happened is that Kylo Ren also found out the same time as Luke did that the Jedi Order was corrupt. So I think that's what made it easier for him to like go off with Snoke.
Who's the big bad in this new Star Wars?
It'd be evil because basically him and Luke basically found out that what they thought like was this really good thing, being a Jedi, was not a good thing, and they just handled it differently. Luke said, "Hey, I'm going to go out and learn more. I'm not going to go murder people like you are, but I'm going to just." This is very confusing. I'm trying to go find out more. And the emo Kylo Ren, who's quite the temper, played by Adam Driver, was just like, hey, you know what? You know, screw this. I'm just going to go off and with this bald guy out in outer space, and we're just going to go conquer the universe. I think that was the reaction. So we'll see. Also in the trailer, it showed the Jedi Temple burning, like a Jedi Temple burning. I think Luke burned it. I think Luke burned it, was just like, screw this, and torched it. That's what I personally think. So what else we have but that's my thoughts on the red lightsaber thing. What else we have for news?
So I know you're a huge fan of all the animated stuff that Disney Lucasfilm is doing, including Clone Wars and Rebels, which just recently wrapped up.
Well, it's about to wrap up. So
it's about to wrap up.
Star Wars Rebels takes place right before Episode 4 and Episode 4, New Hope, and Rogue One. Yeah, so right before Rogue One. And it goes right into Rogue One. Is anyone watching? Have you guys seen Rogue One?
Hopefully.
Tell us below who your favorite character in Rogue One is. But we're going to break what we think this animated show is going to be about. But go in the comments and tell us who your favorite Rogue One character was.
So do we know what the animated content is going to be about?
No. So right now Dave Filoni. So Dave Filoni's this weird guy with a cowboy hat who created Clone Wars and is like helping Disney with all this new stuff.
Okay.
He's doing Rebels, and then he's also helping them do a mini-series with all the women of Star Wars. So they're going to have, like, an episode with Rey, an episode with Sabine, an episode with
Oh, so they're going to use
Leia.
these characters in the animated show?
Yeah, just like a couple shorts.
Okay.
And then after that, a new animated show is going to take place, which we don't know the time period. We don't know anything other than new animated show. Animated show. I brought this up only because I wanted to extend to you as people watching, and people that rewatch this video, is if you got to pick a new Star Wars animated series, what time period would you want it to be in? I personally would want the time period to take place. I'm always going to go like to Old Republic. Like, so there was a time period, guys, like 1,000 years before all these movies took place, where there's like hundreds of Jedis and hundreds of Sith, and there was like massive wars going on, and like Mandalorians like were like the dominant race, just like killing people with jetpacks and guns, and it was like, dude, that was like the real wars. Like now it's just like a couple groups squabbling.
But that's never been translated to screen, right? That's all like books and graphic novels and stuff.
No, just video games, actually.
Oh, video games.
Just the Old Republic video games.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense if you want to put that into.
So that is what I want to see, and that's actually what people are begging for, because they're saying Star Wars Netflix live action Netflix series. They said they want it to be Old Republic, and that's a great thing about Disney having this. There's such a huge timeline; they can dip into it at any time. So I'd want it either to be Old Republic. Or I want an animated series of Luke in between the Return of the Jedi to The Force Awakens, which I don't think we'll do that. I think that'd be like giving us way too much as a fan, but that's what I would want.
So if they do that, what's a character that people can gravitate to in those worlds?
In the prequels? In the Old Republic series?
Right. Because there's got to be somebody that drives the story.
They could.
There's so many Jedi and so many Sith. It's got to be one out of the.
Probably Darth Revan. So he was one of the top Jedi of all time, and then he was like, I don't like how the Jedi are doing things, and it was during the Mandalorian War. So he like went to the dark side for a little bit. And then when he gained the power of the dark side, he like murdered a bunch of like Mandalorians.
Shouldn't have laughed at that. I don't know,
and like murdered Mandalorians. That's how you get LA to laugh. And he's the greatest Star Wars character of all time. He's like exactly what Disney wants of like a good and bad character.
Okay.
Like right in between. So Darth Revan is who I want. I don't even think he's technically canon yet because they haven't brought him up in the new canon. Maybe there is a thread somewhere. It's funny. So they were supposed to have an episode with him as like a Force spirit in the Clone Wars, which is technically canon.
Right.
But it never aired because the show got canceled.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So do you think it'd be like I think it would be good to show like the actual split between like Jedi and Darth and Sith and stuff like that? But the crux of when that actually happens?
Yeah, because that's actually a thing. So Force users all came together and they're like, we're going to be Jedi. And then some people split off and said, no, we're going to go to the dark side. And there was Sith is actually an actual race.
Okay.
And they were like dark side users on the other side of the universe. And basically all these Jedi left and said, nope, we're going to go join them and practice dark arts. And that's how it split up. So that would be kind of cool because then it's like Game of Thrones. Like,
right, you need some context to that type of stuff.
Yeah, so there's like some cool, like, I don't think you should be leader, I should be leader kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think
like Game
really
of Thrones style Star Wars, I think people would be into that. For sure.
I don't like I hate to say it, like I know the cool, like the politics of everything, like the cool thing, Rogue One is really good, but I hate the politics stuff. I hate actually the Rebels versus the Empire.
Isn't that kind of where the prequels kind of lagged? Because it was all politics stuff and no action?
Yeah, like I want to see Force users. Like I like seeing Jedi, I like seeing Sith. I want to see Force users. As much as I think it's really cool, all the politics that happen inside Star Wars, you know, by the end of the day, I just want to see people using powers killing people.
Right, which is what we all want. I'm pretty sure the consensus is that.
So what else do we have?
So a little bit of gaming. Battlefront 2 trailer came out, and a lot of people are psyched. I know the biggest issue with the last Battlefront is that it was just short. And there was no real story-based content in that. It's just kind of you jump in, you fight between each other, and that was kind of it. And it didn't really have any legs. So this new one that's coming out looks like is going to probably correct a lot of those things. We'll see what happens. But as far as release trailers go, it looks really cool.
Have you played Battlefront 1?
I've watched streams of it.
I've played it. I enjoyed it very much. So we're up to 3 viewers. So everyone right now, if you guys can, go ahead and share this video. Let's get some more people here in the chat.
Yeah.
Please feel free to jump right in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Say anything. Make fun of Ellie's face. No one cares.
Nobody cares.
I'm excited for Battlefront. So do you know what's really weird about this whole canon thing is that they excluded Battlefront from this.
They excluded Battlefront from this?
From being a part of canon. Remember how they said, Disney said, for now on, everything we make is like law.
Right.
All the comics, the books, the movies. Something happens in a book. Someone blows their nose in the book. That means that person blew their nose in the movie, so on and so forth, right?
Okay.
So, but they excluded Battlefront from this because people were way overanalyzing Battlefront for a long time. Like, oh, Boba Fett is in Battlefront. Does that mean he lives? This and that. And the Disney had to come out and be like, no, all right, guys, it's not canon. So it kind of ruins the excitement of like finding stuff.
Sidebar, real quick.
Yeah.
Boba Fett, you bring him up. Boba Fett is a very interesting character because in the Star Wars world, I hear that name a lot. I hear a lot of fan fervor over that name a lot.
Yeah.
But I never see anything about this person. Like, it's like he's the most overrated or I'm not sure if he's more overrated or underrated because everybody gets excited about Boba Fett.
He's both overrated and underrated.
But he's like, how much screen time has Boba Fett actually had?
None.
So why
it doesn't say a dang word.
So why is he so coveted amongst the Star Wars
fans? Just because, like at the time when you watched Star Wars, he was like the mysterious guy who never said anything, did anything, but you just knew he was like a bad guy, like a bad A. Like you knew that guy got stuff done.
Does he have any story like whatsoever in any other facet of the Star Wars world? Like, is there like
yeah? So the clones,
right,
were copied from his dad, Jango Fett.
Okay, I remember hearing a story about that.
And they made a clone that didn't have like the age process stuff, and like they made like just basically a little baby clone for him that didn't age fast and like have all the, you know, juiced up stuff. Basically, just made a kid version of himself.
Okay. And
that he named Boba Fett. So he's a lot in the prequels.
My homie Jake, who by the way is the creator of this shirt. It's called Matt LA. Please go.
Wait, is he your buddy that makes all the?
He makes clothes. He's
I remember you talking about
from
it.
my hometown, Los Angeles, California. Shout out to Jake. And he says,
Aren't we getting a Boba Fett movie?
I thought so too. That's why I brought it
Boba
up.
Fett is so overrated.
Thank you, Jake. I appreciate you. I love you.
Yeah,
Jake.
he is. So so basically
video, Jake.
they show him a little bit as like a kid in Clone Wars, and he's like a 10-year-old kid running a bounty hunter gang.
Oh, they're bounty hunter games?
Gang.
Oh, gang. Okay.
Like a gang, like Crips and Bloods.
Okay. All right. So now you're talking about language. Okay. I got what you're saying. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
So all these bounty hunters get together, and they take different jobs, and he's like the guy who gives certain bounty hunters jobs, and he's like 15 years old, like 10 years old. So yeah, he's a bad A.
Okay. He was just born this way.
But saying really like, if you really know Boba Fett, yes, Star Wars built him to be a huge bad A, but if you look at actual screen time and everything else, no, he's not that great. He got like, if you look in Jedi Returns, his pat gets like sliced in half and he goes, "Wah!" and he gets like blown into the giant mouth in the sand and dies.
Right, that's what my knowledge of him is like. He was on screen for like a little bit and then he died.
And then
like there's this
and then
like,
someone went and someone spent $100,000 making a fan film of him literally crawling out of the mouth and like walking across the desert.
That was a waste of money. You just gave that to us.
It's because he's Mandalorian. People just want him to be bad A. Mandalorians are bad A by themselves. So, do we think we'll get a Boba Fett movie?